everyone. It's been 3 days now, and I've been making some progress regarding the Bmad plus OpenClaw method. So, I'll give you a quick update. Basically, I've spent some time trying to set up the VPS, configuring OpenClaws with the gateway. There's many things I want to mention here, but let's get straight to the point first regarding the general advancement for the coupling of Bmad and OpenClaw. So far it's going great. I've been able to run like almost three experience, basically one each night, where the bot was prompted to run autonomously on various projects. So I test different prompts, different meta, different connections to different tools. So the very first trial was to simply, I'm just gonna remove my screen here, was to simply giving full control of the Bmad master and connected it with Cloud CLI. And it actually worked, and it output me something in the morning, which was available from my phone. It was hosted, I think, with probably NGX or something. Problem which were noticed is that the original intent was kind of okay. I didn't give any sort of feedback, and I didn't give either any sort of instruction beside beyond me SaaS. It was a very detailed prompt about the, let's say, the meta instruction, like every 30 minutes you should remind your long-term goal, you have access to this tool, beyond me SaaS, blah, blah, blah. But he has to come up with the ID by himself. It didn't work very well because it found a okay ID, but the UX was not so great. The Bmad master node crashed in the middle and it continues to load the prompt by himself. So it means it basically load the Bmad prompt inside OpenClaw and it managed to create the architecture alone. So it kind of worked for like 10 step or something. And then he just loaded the prompt himself. So obviously that's not what I wanted because um, I wanted to follow true code, true cloud code and to have like kind of better outputs. So I proceeded to start a second attempt on the next day. This time I was able to follow the Bmad method for around, I'd say 15 steps, and then the problem arised. Cloud CLI crashed. Basically, there is a memory overflow. There is problem with the gateway. It was a nightmare. Also, token expiring. So yeah, not so great result. Actually, the first one was even better. Uh, and during the third day, I actually started to gain some insight. I figured out I should have some sort of semi-autonomous software development. So I assisted for the first part, so the like the basic ID and the like the five, 2 to 3, maybe, yeah, 2 to 3 first steps of the brainstorming session, and then I let it run like 5 steps by 5 steps, more or less, depending on the complexity of the steps, and it was able to generate very decent result. I had some problem with the gateway and memory leaks along the way, which I was fixing, but actually, since I was behind the screen um, after office hours, I could monitor it, and it was great. Um, so now it's still working actually, and I didn't make twice the same mistake. I had to run the workflow design. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to start the first sprints now, probably tonight. Yeah, that's great. And I'll keep you in touch with that. I also created something interesting, which is I linked the token of various tools to OpenClaw. So for instance, the Supabase, Versal, GitHub, um, Recent, many tools that usually you use to build SaaS, so for email, hosting, database, authentication, everything. I created separated account and I give the full permission over it. I also prompt him to create Git repositories as you want, as long as you keep it private. And he invites me personally as reviewer, an administrator on the repo, and it worked pretty well for observability actually, because this is much less painful than going manually into the log file or logging through SSH. So much less painful here. Yeah, it worked pretty well so far. The only problem I have is really with the memory leak and the OAuth tokens. That's the main problems. Um, yeah. And I also did the update. Of course, I'm summarizing it, but I had many problems here. Um, I kind of work blind, and then I go through all the problem one by one, and I generate documentation of my own, etc., etc. So it's going great. Few hours a day after office hours, still manage to get decent results. Working autonomously or semi-autonomously at night, and it's actually kind of great. So I believe tonight I might be able to get a first very decent result, which is actually hosted on the internet. Won't be very great because I need to make several sprints before reaching like MVP or something, but at least I have something decent, I think. So I'm gonna try to push it to production tonight. Um, then review it, shut it down, do a next sprint, extra, and along the way I try to maintain a long-lived connection in order for the boat to kind of run fully autonomously as much as possible. And anyway, it's still more useful than just running the Bmad master, because what I used to do is to run VS codes and using Bmad as normal, or just Cloud Code sometimes. And problem is that it's very long to prompt it, and you don't have very good prompting, because after 3 hours of prompting Club Code, you're like, okay, fix this, fix this, fix this, and it's not very good standard. And overall, you know, it get context overload or bad instruction, and yeah, it's not so great. So here, the bot generate clear question. I'm giving the intent, and basically OpenClaw as act as an orchestrator and prompt cleaning, basically. And it also have access to all the tools, so I don't have to configure anything. I think I could do it overall with Cloud Code. It will be nice, but it will be less autonomous. So yeah, that's not 100% perfect for sure. There is some criticism that could come around, but we've made good progress so far. Is it relevant after like 3 to 4 days of experimenting? Yes, up to a certain degrees. You still have to give instruction. And it's also really depending on the use case. For instance, here I'm building SaaS, so the scope is kind of limited, and I can limit the hallucination because of that. I will always use more or less the same stack to prevent problems, etc., and I'm monitoring. But for other project, there might be some instance with it's more reliable and more interesting. So yeah, after I finish with the SaaS ones, maybe I'm going to try something else. I also started to gather sorry, to gather a community for people with similar interest. I contacted the maintainer as well of the repository. I'd like to participate, maybe to help on some pull requests, sorry, for the layout of the gateway, basically, because I can show you I can't show you my config here, for obvious reason, but um, this is very bad layout. It's been better since the last update, but it's not so great yet. So yeah. It would be great to participate a little bit over here. They have like 1,500 pull requests right now. So I believe, yeah, it's going to be a problem because there is just 15 maintainers. So anyway, so yeah, that's where we are. I'm going to work all night as usual. And yeah, tomorrow is going to be Friday. So on the weekend, I have more time. I'll be able to probably run new experiments, maybe make the result public, give you guys link or anything. So yeah, I'll keep you in touch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.